Hi, this is Martin from Gemini Connect. I'm coming to the Seattle Waterfront where I want to see what they have done. We have covered on our other channels the progress of remaking the waterfront in Seattle, and there are other videos, but I'm starting a new channel, so this is going to be the first video on the new channel, and we're going to see almost the final look of the waterfront here. They have made most of the progress and completed most things. Behind me that way towards the ferry terminal, there's still some parts that are undone 300 years later, but this way to the north, it looks like it's done, so let's check it out. So facing this way, they have expanded the walking zone quite a bit, so you see the road over there, it's quite far, and then all the way on this side, it's now a wide walking space. And if you peek in this direction here, there's also a bike lane kind of immediately next to the road. And there's some cones and things like that. This section actually for biking is not yet open. But altogether, a lot of the work has been done. And now the walkway is a lot broader. And that's one of the main improvements they have done. This all started when they took down a massive highway that was going across the whole waterfront. It was very noisy and very ugly. Now, what they did instead is they made 6-lane road right next to the waterfront, and no one is happy about this part right here, because why did we remove a massive road and then added back a massive road? This was supposed to be a park, and so let's see what they've done. I don't think that is mitigated in any way. There was so much criticism, and people were actually angry about it because. So the main thing is that Seattle actually does not have a central gathering place or a plaza or any kind of square in downtown. If you go to downtown Seattle, there's nowhere really to just go and hang out other than the waterfront, which until just now was very narrow and also didn't allow that many people to just go and hang out and spend time. Like a gathering place or just a place where you go out and that's the place you hang out, the focal point of the whole city. There is what's called Seattle Center, but that's not downtown, and it's a little different for the sake of festivals and stuff like that. But it's not downtown. You have to either walk 20 minutes or take transportation. So here in the waterfront, it actually is in downtown, and it is now pretty big. And as you can see around me, quite a lot of people have come down here, and that's really was the main purpose. And you can think of this project as the main facelift, because the waterfront is the face of the city, and again now it becomes kind of like the plaza, the square. And so they just redid it all. So the face of the city got a major facelift. It took a very long time. It took a lot of money, and now we're about to see what they have done. And what's the good and the bad about it?
For this cruise.
On the left-hand side here, people are taking little cruises of the bay and the Puget Sound. And forward, there are a lot of classic waterfront restaurants here. This is Elliot's house. Most of them focus on seafood, various price ranges, but usually expensive. A lot of greenery was added here and flowers, I can see. Some new benches, I like that. Nice wooden bench, hopefully holds up against the rain. And this is kind of the layout of the waterfront. On the left-hand side are these piers. They stretch over the water on big columns. And there's some kind of commerce, and then in between them, boats can attach and take off from there or come back. So you see a number of sea tours, a number of restaurants, and now I'm approaching the Great Wheel, so-called, of Seattle. That wheel right there, so that too is here. It gives you a really good view of downtown both ways, over the sea and then the city itself on this side. I think it's for tourists. Locals really don't bother too much with it. Or maybe some people come from the suburbs and go on a date night or something. And you get a good view, especially at sunset. It's nice. So going forward this way, we're about to see some of the main features which they have built for this overhaul of the waterfront. Going further down here, I still see unfinished work in the flower beds primarily, and some fencing, and they're building some pavilion. I don't know what's gonna come out of that. So yeah, it looks like they're not really done with a number of things. This pavilion here, there it is, what they're doing. A restroom, oh, they're building a restroom. That is actually nice. When it finishes, very good. And here more things are being done. I don't really know. I think they might be building a whole new pier right here, because that's a big thing right here, and I don't think it existed before. A lot of equipment, a lot of concrete. So yeah, it looks like yet another pier they're filling in right here. And here they're finishing the garden. Still fenced off. So yeah, I guess we're not taking the true final look because it's still not done. But you can see it shaping up at this point at least. Some renderings you can take a look at over here, you know, as real as that is. Some benches here, kind of terrace style, rising up. Oh, there's the new statue. Oh, this is going to be a playground. I was hoping that is done, but I guess not. So this big thing that they're building here is like a playground, and that main part of it is an octopus. And I thought by now it would be done, but no. And it looks like it's on a brand new pier and everything. Interesting. I guess we'll come to see that yet again. I hope they built adequate fencing, which I think they will, but you don't want any child falling into the water here. Yeah, it's a little disappointing that so many things are not done. Now, the main things that are done is that extension of the aquarium straight ahead, and the big platform to the right of it, immediately next to it. That's a really big feature they were building for a while, which I'm gonna cover thoroughly next. Here we can see some kind of finishing touches. I'm guessing that will be a garden or a fountain or something like that. And at that point, this corner would be kind of done. Now I'm going to take a look at this big road that they built. One of my main complaints, and many people's complaints, really, is that this was supposed to be our waterfront park, and they added this right here on it. And right here, this is the half the road that you're seeing. So 3 lanes, one is a parking lane, it looks like, and 2 car lanes, traffic lanes. On the other side, same thing. So they took out something like a 3-4 lane highway stacked on top of each other, and then they added 6 lanes down on the ground. And that's a little crazy to think about. Like, they spent billions of dollars remaking it, and they added the road back that they removed. So there's traffic, it's noisy, it's very noisy. Even just the path down here, the waterfront itself, is noisy because of a lot of these people are cruising with some kind of bicycle thing, like a tricycle, to try to get tourists to ride on it, and they're blasting loud music, and just all together, lots of people are making noise. So it kind of drowns out the road noise, but altogether it's a very loud place. Now here is the new pavilion for the aquarium, which is pretty cool. You can actually see some fish right here. I want to go into the aquarium, but not this time. But all these people here are going inside the aquarium. I don't know yet what's inside this pavilion. The old aquarium is on this side. This whole thing is the aquarium, including this. And it looks like the way they've built it is you have to exit there and then walk across this whole thing and then enter this part. And then there's some kind of staircase. But this whole entire pavilion is new, with the wood on one side and the glass, and then that metal staircase. So it says public elevator up there. So that's a nice touch. Let's see what's down here. And the new pavilion is good and very needed because our aquarium was feeling like it is small and dated by now, even though it's supposed to be one of our main ones in the country. You know, Seattle is a major port city. In the Puget Sound here is teeming with marine life, and because of that, you would want a very nice aquarium here. Ironically, you could go to inland, landlocked cities which have better aquariums than us, and now we've done a big extension. I'm hopeful that is a good one. Now, beyond the aquarium, you see this giant staircase. I don't know exactly what they call it. Walkway, they call it, or something like that. A walkway. Well, you're seeing it right here. It's primarily a staircase, and there's some other pathways, but here is the big rendering of it, of what they've built. And today, in a few minutes actually, is the opening, so that's why I'm here today. And I want to see what they have done and let you know what I think about it. Yeah, so it's up here is the Pike Place Market, the existing public market, something like 100-something years old. And until now, there was no good way to get to the waterfront. So this is what purpose this whole thing serves. So it really is like, functionally, it's a giant staircase. It has some nicer features. For example, a play area for children and greenery. But other than that, it's concrete and a staircase. Some people are gathered here. They look like they are working on removing the fencing for the first time. So these people gathered here can walk up the stairs. Somebody, I think people have actually entered from the top, it looks like. So from the bottom we are still barred, but from the top people have entered. So I'm waiting till they open over here. Should be any minute by the look of it. There we go. And this guy there with the screwdriver is undoing the fence as we speak. There, this is it.
Let's go!
This is it. See, people are cheering. This is the first time that this staircase can be walked through, which is what I'm going to do right now. You see the crowd of people. They're all about to walk through here for the first time, like me. So I like this that I got here just on time for the opening. Let's see. I will start climbing now.
I played hooky with this guy. We played golf yesterday.
So this is basically eye level with me, the vantage point. You're seeing how I am rising on these big stairs. And one thing about them is that there are multiple levels. So like this level here will take you onto the road level. And up here, I can continue climbing. On the right side is the aquarium pavilion. You see how it itself has stairs.
Oh, duh, it's an amphitheater.
And I keep climbing and climbing to get to the bulk of this feature, the big waterfront walkway. A lot of people have gathered. I see them all around for the opening. Over there is Pike Place Market. And here is kind of the center here. I see seating and another ramp over here. What's cool is that on the right side you're getting a very nice view of the sea. This is the Puget Sound, Elliott Bay, Puget Sound, Salish Sea. And as you rise up the staircase, you see here, you are getting a really good view of the whole bay here. And on this side, quite a lot of seating as well with wood, a garden, and again, a big, nice view. This is vast right here, a vast seating area and more space where people can gather and not be surrounded by traffic It's space for people, actually. That was really sorely needed on the waterfront, or in the whole city of Seattle, and in downtown Seattle in particular. So this new park was a very long, costly endeavor, but it's very needed. So I'm just kind of casually walking. I want to show you, as I look over, you see now here, this is the old pavilion for the aquarium. This is the bulk of the aquarium. I'm standing on top of the new pavilion for the aquarium, so that too is built into the park, truly. And down there is where I came from. So you see how I walked this whole thing, and now you get to see on the left they're still working on it, it's still in construction. And they have broadened the path here. It was much narrower than this. And soon they will finish the rest of it. It's not that much left of it anymore. You do see how it's taking shape. And here's an elevator for those who cannot walk, like people with strollers or wheelchairs. And you see here how they basically divided the waterfront on the left-hand side into a big road, and on the right-hand side is a big walking path. And in the middle, there's a bike lane. Previously, there was admittedly a lot less space for pedestrians and no bike lane at all that I can remember. I think nothing. So, you know, they've claimed space from cars, and they've taken down the big ugly freeway that was here. And it became nicer, a lot nicer. It made the waterfront into a lot more of a gathering place or a destination that is worth visiting, in my opinion. So that's the good. By far, that's the big benefit of this whole project, and why people have gathered here to look at it and are excited about it, truly. So I'm going to continue climbing. As I'm here, I'm trying to get a good feeling of how this all feels, really. Like when you stand right here, what is the feeling? Yeah, obviously it's an urban feeling. You can see skyscrapers on the right, but you don't see much of the nuisances of the city, like traffic and all that. And then on the left-hand side, you're rising above the street level so much that it's almost really just the sea in view. You see how, like right here, you feel like you're looking at the sea directly, which is a very nice feeling. I like that a lot. So it's like half you're in the sea and half in the city. A lot of people here. Well, it's good to see a crowd, honestly. People came to see this. And more and more people now. We are getting towards the second half of all this, which is very crowded, it looks like. But the more I walk further this way, the more I am about to enter Pike Place Market. And so right here, there's a lot of space where people simply are standing. It's just really open space with concrete. There's some seating here. So it makes me wonder, it's like a gathering space or... I see. So now here, there's some official information. They call this the Overlook Walk. This is the official name. So the big park all the way across the waterfront is called Waterfront Park. And this thing I'm standing on is called the Overlook Walk. That's the official name of it. And I am guessing the seating is going to be here permanently, or it will be used for events which will take place right here. I see music, and then some people are grabbing something, but there's a line. And there's a pavilion right here, so I don't know exactly, but it says concessionaires. So some kind of snacks and foods will be coming in this pavilion, which is nice. We actually really lack commerce, like food and drinks and anything else in our public spaces in Seattle. So it's good to see that they've thought about it and there's at least a little bit of it. Up here are the stairs to Pike Place Market, but what I'm doing is going to see the child's play area. a new playground. This one is open. I thought both would be open by now. The one there was under construction. But this one, you can see adults are going down the slide really. But
Usually it won't be this crowded.
there's a lot of kids playing here, which is good. A little playground, but at least children are playing, you know. Because until now there was not much that they could have done on this whole waterfront. There's a little area here where you can let your kids play and enjoy the view. Though the view now becomes more hidden from the playground, truly. Let me walk through here. But yeah, you see how the playground is kind of tucked in, and now there's that building, so you don't really see the sea all too well. On this side you do better. You're starting to see the sea more. But the best feeling of looking at the sea was down there, actually, where most of the people are. Crowded today, that was to be expected, but it is opening hour, not even just opening day, it's opening hour right now, so that was to be expected. One cool thing is that they've put full-grown trees here, so it will quickly become more green. Right now it's the least green you're seeing it because everything is going to grow out. And so I'm going to take a look here now from above. There's the majority of this so-called Overlook Walk. Now from this angle you see how there's actually roads going through it. It goes over the road, so right here you'll still be looking at the road and hearing traffic, which is kind of a shame, you know. And on this side there's a large road still cutting across. So they've kind of tried to weave the roads into the waterfront park. We'll have to be the judge whether that was successful as time goes by, so that we understand, you know, is it pleasant, is it a nuisance, should they remove the road or should have they not built a road there. That was the main criticism when this thing was built. I believe the majority of the people just simply wanted park here, no more traffic. Now I am very close to Pike Place Market, and this is an extension which was recently built. It looks like very busy with a brewery and some restaurants and a lot of people, outdoor seating, which is nice. So yeah, it has become a lot more of a destination now, I would say, the whole waterfront. In that sense, it is successful. I do think on a good weather day, this will be drawing a lot of people, and it will be kind of the go-to place for Seattle. So I think as soon as I walk up this staircase, I'm basically in Pike Place Market. So interestingly, this park, which was the original park in Pike Place, has been closed, probably to be redone, and now it will be reopened as part of this whole facelift. On this side is this new wing of the Pike Place Market, which I'll show you. But it's a good walk to see the walkway, the Overlook Walk from the top. You see all these people are on it right now. So quite a lot of new construction here. This was a very large project. Seeing it complete, it looks pretty nice, honestly. It is quite heavy on the concrete. I would have wished that they've used more green, and they've put a lot of green, but still many parts of it are straight up many tons of concrete. Especially, I'll show you that one angle down there where it just looks like an imposing mountain of concrete. Now, seeing it from the top here, it does not look that way. It looks like people and gardens. If the people weren't here, you'll see how much concrete there is truly here. I hope as the trees grow out, you'll have less of a feeling that it's just a big concrete feature. But yeah, this is the main thing right now, the big deal, the big addition to Seattle altogether, and Waterfront definitely opening today for the first time. And then right here on this side is where the connection is to Pike Place Market. Here you can buy food, especially seafood, and a lot of crafts. So the market itself is right between these doors. I'm not gonna go there. And on here, there are usually craft merchants. So yeah, this connects to the market, which continues that way. So it's good because you can walk for quite a bit now without ever crossing traffic. You can enter the market, and there's another big topic about how the market should be car-free. Hopefully that's the next step, because American cities and Seattle, we don't have that much car-free spaces that belongs to pedestrians to actually relax and enjoy the day, versus enjoy a little bit of sidewalk while cars are driving 40 miles per hour next to them loudly and so on. But now walking backwards, I'm gonna walk it down to see how that is. It's going well, I think. I'm getting a good overview. I'm not gonna go back to the playground. So here you have some kind of forks. On the right here, you enter the playground. On the left, you go faster to the water and the main part of the walkway.
Oh, sorry.
What's the
And here we are. This is really the bulk of it right here. I like it. Altogether, I like it. I will come obviously many more times because I live here, and it's truly the main gathering space now for the whole downtown Seattle. Where we live, have a direct train to here, so I don't have to drive. I can simply get out the train a few blocks that way, and then walk here within some 10 minutes or so. Walk on this walkway, and then I will be at the waterfront. Or alternatively, I can get off at the southern station and walk the waterfront itself to get here. I look forward to seeing it less crowded, honestly, because right now it's actually over the top. But I do assume it's going to get crowded very often because of where it is, and because there's no other place like it, and because of tourists. Yeah. So locals and tourists alike will be swarming here a lot. And here, when I look now, I am directly facing the sea. And that's the coolest part of it. The whole sea is in front of you here. The Elliott Bay at least part of the Puget Sound and the Salish Sea. I can see film crews doing what I'm doing. Event staff for the opening. A lot of people have come. It would be nice if I can see my wife Susie and our kids, because they're with the stroller somewhere. I hope they have found a way to get up, because there is an elevator for that reason. But it's so crowded that I don't know. I actually should check my phone and see if they've messaged me. No messages. Okay, so yeah, here am I at the main hangout area, which overlooks the sea. I think this is my favorite part right here, because I see the most of the sea. And beyond the sea, there's the Olympic mountain range, and the ferries are going in the distance. It's picturesque. This way is north. That's a giant cruise ship terminal there. Even there's a second one in the back, but not that walkable. But what is interesting is, I will tell you, over here, there's this pier. And this pier was redone or newly added. And then the rest of the road remains untouched, even though it's at least another mile or something like that of the waterfront up there. So what is happening, I heard, is that the wives of Jeff Bezos and Bill Gates have donated the needed funding to actually redo that part of the waterfront too. It will not be as intensive of a rework, but they will be adding a lot more pedestrian and biking space so that it's not just a road with small sidewalks like it currently is. So it will become more cohesively part of the whole waterfront walking space. And you see right here how many people are able to walk. There's never been a part of Seattle until now where this many pedestrians had this much space to walk freely, which is very, very important to me. Like, I want our city and overall American cities to have much more space for walking, to be much nicer for walking and much friendlier to pedestrians, because humans are made for walking. We evolved walking. We need to be walking to be healthy. And therefore, the fact that for so long American cities were not designed for walking, but for cars ever since the 50s, was a really major detriment to everything, to the environment, to the health of people, to social life, to overall, I think, enjoyment and well-being. But now there's initiative to go the other way. Now we are seeing cities like Seattle spending literally billions of dollars to remake the cities into more walking friendly environment. And some people criticize that it's not being done fast enough or in large scale enough. And actually I'm one of those people. I think we should be more aggressive about this. But it's good to see that at least it is happening, because if I have to be objectively saying what I'm seeing here is, yes, indeed, what I just said. This is the most space and the most people I've ever seen walking here in Seattle, freely in a walking zone. Europe has such places, maybe Asia has some by now, but America not very much. And this is one of the biggest I've ever seen in the USA. New York has some nice ones, but I'm so glad to see Seattle having a really big, nice one too. And you see here how I was back here before, and I was explaining how this much space has now been claimed for pedestrians and bikers, and the road is on that side. I would prefer if the road did not exist at all and all this was a park, but maybe eventually we'll get there. So only one more thing remains. I want to go all the way down again and get a good view of it from the ground level, from the sea level, truly, so that I know what that looks like. I actually climbed right up and I didn't very much look at that. So yeah, altogether I actually really like this. It looks like people are enjoying it a lot. It also looks like they admire the view. And one big thing about it is that Seattle is a city of great natural beauty.
It's like a park.
The architecture and development of Seattle honestly hasn't been all that impressive until now. So it's good to see that this here that was built in a way to really demonstrate and emphasize the natural setting that is around us, because you feel like you're almost in the sea as you're standing right here. Right here is the sea. It feels really close to you. You can smell it. You feel eye to eye with it. It's really nice. So I'm gonna take the quickest steps down, the quickest staircase. This one goes to the aquarium. This one goes to the pier and to the north of the waterfront. So I'm gonna go the northern way. This is the staircase I climbed to get in, and I want to take a good view of it from that pier, and that's gonna be where I close this video. Almost there now. Pretty quick. You see how I got very quickly down to the street level and the sea. I like that. That gives fast walkers like me a very quick access. And now, without any interference again from cars, I'm able to get to this pier and to the main walkway for this waterfront of Seattle. And now I'm gonna turn around. And you see here what this whole thing looks like from the ground. It is so huge and vertical that you actually can't really get a very good look of it. You actually would need a drone to encompass it entirely. So from here, you see an archway, you see the aquarium pavilion, and you see the road on the left here, but you don't actually see the walkway entirely. And while I'm here, I think for the event today, they've put up some food trucks and whatnot. So I'm gonna walk this pier, but the pier is permanent and it also aims to serve as a gathering space, which is good. They have some kind of mini soccer field, which is an interesting choice right over the sea, because it's really easy to kick the ball into the sea. But, you know, people are enjoying all around. The vibe is good. We are in October now. The weather is among the better months, but today is actually exceptionally windy here. But October is one of the good months, so people have come out. I think it will die down, obviously, November through like February. But we do have something like 8 months that do give us lots of good weather. And in those months, this will be a great hit, I think, for the people of Seattle and for the people who visit. Even here, they've put up fireplaces. I've seen another one in use already. Food trucks can come here. There's a stage. Interesting, yeah. So a lot of seating I'm seeing right directly next to the sea, which is also very nice. You can listen to the seagulls and the waves. You can also see animals, but right now the water is so choppy, I don't think you will. But seals come, orcas sometimes, even whales have come to the pier all the way. It's nice. So yeah, very welcome addition. And see, now I'm distanced enough where I can look at the big feature that I just covered, and you can see it better here. Lots and lots of people can gather. Ever since I started there by the ferry terminal, it's been open space for people to walk and gather and enjoy. So in closing, I will say that yes, there is a big road next to this park, which people didn't really want. And yes, this part is made of a lot of concrete, and it took a long time and it was very expensive. But I think overall it's a very, very welcome and needed addition to the city, and I'm really glad it's here. See you later.